Any athletic activity can benefit from sports rivalry. It adds a narrative to the event and offers the contestants more incentive to prevail. Fans will be significantly more invested in the events if there are rivalries with the correct level of emotional drama than if everything is just friendly. Although friendly rivalries are acceptable and enhance competitiveness, they lack the explosive excitement that rivals based on malice provide. Hello there folks, you're watching Bodybuilding Olympians, and before we proceed with the contents of this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Bodybuilding and feuds. Bodybuilding rivalries can get a lot of attention from both followers of the sport and observers outside of it. Kai Green and Phil Heath are wonderful examples of this. Everyone enjoys a good tale with lots of tension to keep them engaged. It has always generated significant interest because of its formula. Floyd Mayweather's position as the top paid athlete is not accidental. In order to sell the competition with his opponent, Mayweather always manages to establish himself as a divisive character regardless of who his opponent is. It creates buzz, and buzz brings in the cash. We might discuss any number of rivalries, but occasionally examining former ones may be just as illuminating. In the original bodybuilding facility in Temple Row in Birmingham, Martin's gym, Yates began working out in 1983. He won Mr. Birmingham in 1984 while still being a beginner, and he also won the first British Heavyweight Championship in 1986. From 1992 up until his retirement in 97, he won every single contest he entered, compiling a professional record of 15 major contest victories and 2 second-place results. His career came to an end in large part as a result of chronic, acute injuries, including torn triceps and biceps, the latter of which occurred just 3 weeks before his final competition, the 1997 Mr. Olympia, which he won despite the injury. His victory sparked debate among other competitors, critics, and amateurs who believed that the runner-up, Nasser El Sonbati, should have won. Dorian Yates. At the age of 18, Yates and his pals were detained as they crossed Birmingham en route to a party. The adage, "there are those who play the game and then there are those who alter the game," may have caught your attention. The latter is frequently used in reference to people who arrive and ruin the competition by altering how fans view the sport itself. That is just what an English bodybuilder achieved in the 1990s when he launched and motivated a new age of bodybuilding. None other than Dorian Yates, aka the Shadow Bodybuilder. He competed in his first Olympia in 1991 and finished second to the veteran icon Lee Haney before going on to create his own legend. He devastated the sport in 1993 by being the first bodybuilder to compete while weighing over 250 pounds and with that level of leanness and fitness. The biggest guy in the room. He single-handedly actually flipped the bodybuilding sport on its head, as you can see in the video. The sport was then ruled by this English giant who won 7 Grand Prix championships and 6 Mr. Olympia crowns all by himself up until 1997. After finishing in second place at the 1991 Mr. Olympia, he never again finished second. For 2 reasons, he was referred to as the Shadow. One was that he would essentially vanish into the trenches after each victory, only to return the following year and completely dominate his rivals. He would also always be the largest man in the room, so that was another factor. Yates supported the high-intensity training, or HIIT, school of bodybuilding, which holds that short, intense workout sessions, as opposed to lengthy, sluggish ones, are the best way to stimulate your muscles to their full potential. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Alois Schwarzenegger, born July 30th of 1947, is an American and Austrian actor, producer of motion pictures, businessman, former bodybuilder, and politician who presided as California's 38th governor from 2003 to 2011. In 2004 and 2007, Time magazine listed Arnold Schwarzenegger as one of the top 100 global influencers. Schwarzenegger started weightlifting at the age of 15, went on to win the Mr. Universe crown at the age of 20, and then went on to win the Mr. Olympia crown 7 times. He's renowned as one of history's best bodybuilders and is the author of several books and essays on the subject. He is the inspiration for the Arnold Sports Festival, which is regarded as the second most significant bodybuilding competition after Mr. Olympia. Schwarzenegger was initially chosen as a Republican candidate on October 7th of 2003, in a special recall election to succeed then-Gov. Gray Davis Cruz Bustamante. The Democratic nominee's closest challenger finished in second place with 48.6% of the vote. In the 2006 California gubernatorial election, he was re-elected with a higher vote share of 55.9% to serve a full term as governor. He was sworn in on November 17th to finish Davis's tenure. He returned to acting governorship in 2011 after serving his full term as governor. Before we move on ahead, I'd like to stop you for a moment for the sake of Arnold. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell icon. Now, let's drive to our topic. On July 30th of 1947, Arnold Schwarzenegger was born in Thal as the second child of Gustav Schwarzenegger and Aurelia Schwarzenegger. The neighborhood's police chief was Arnold Schwarzenegger's father. He suffered a wound during the Battle of Stalingrad and was eventually released in 1943 after contracting malaria. Michael Berenbaum, a specialist on the Holocaust, claims that Gustav Schwarzenegger was in the war's theaters where crimes took place. However, it's impossible to determine from the documentation if he had a part to play. When Schwarzenegger won the 2003 California governorship recall election, Gustav's history gained considerable public coverage. The rift between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Dorian Yates. If you are yet unaware, Dorian Yates and Arnold Schwarzenegger, both past bodybuilding champions, have had their share of arguments. It's intriguing since the two men competed in various bodybuilding periods. So, how precisely did these two end up at odds? Look at Yates' perspective on the situation. Dorian Andrew Yates, an English bodybuilder who retired from the competition, was born on April 19th of 1962. After Ronnie Coleman, Lee Haney, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Phil Heath, he holds the 5th highest total of Mr. Olympia victories in history, winning the competition 6 times in a row from 1992 to 1997. He was highly recognized for his high-intensity training, excellent fitness, and broad, thick back. He's regarded as one of the greatest professional bodybuilders in history. In the rural Warwickshire town of Hurley, he grew up farming. Yates' father passed away when Yates was 13 due to a heart attack. The three of them then relocated to Walmley in Sutton Coldfield. Yates resided in Birmingham's Ladywood and Castle Vale neighborhoods while working as a professional bodybuilder. All athletic events are spiced up by the rivalry between athletes. They infuse the competition with personal drama and give the participants more incentive to succeed. They are appealing to the audience, who are prepared to pay more money if the event includes more than a simple competition. Friendly rivalry can add a little bit of spice to tournaments, but when there's animosity involved, the events always garner more attention. We think of numerous rivalries from the present day, but the past has its own merits. It's a little odd to see how these old bodybuilding wars turned out though. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Dorian Yates, two previous bodybuilding champions, appear to have had a falling out in the past which you may not have known. They participated in 2 separate eras, which is a fascinating fact. So, what exactly was their point of contention? Dorian Yates, in a YouTube video, said that he felt that Arnold had to say things against bodybuilding and him as he was the leader of modern bodybuilding. He made all of these comments in the mid-90s and he replied back with, quote, "I don't know how you are criticizing me or the sport because you have never met me or spoken to me personally. He doesn't know much about the sport because he never went to watch any shows." End quote. Meaning he believes that Arnold did whatever he had to do for his own benefit. He replied back to Arnold through a magazine and the reviews came out to be in his favor. He thinks that Arnold achieved a lot, and perhaps because he had a huge ego, he said it in one of his interviews. He said his mentor and Arnold were big rivals. Arnold won the 1980 Mr. Olympia over his mentor, Mike MENSA, and it was very, very controversial because Arnold balled up into the competition at the last possible minute, even though the rules for the competition clearly state that you had to register some time period before the event or tournament, but he was still allowed to register because it was that time period, and it was Arnold. Arnold's friend was a promoter, and his friends were on the judging panel. Most people even agreed that it wasn't fair and that he hadn't actually deserved that win. He said that he was closely associated with Mike MENSA and his mentor had warned him about regarding Arnold. He had said, quote, "Arnold Schwarzenegger knows about you and he's going to stay bothered about you because you are better than him." End quote. He didn't initially believe Mike and dismissed him by saying that Arnold was a big guy now and he had done what he had done and he had starred in movies and he won't care about him anymore. but Mike MENSA was very sure about Arnold's dislike towards Dorian. If you love this video, then do leave us a comment down below and make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss any further videos. Also, refer to other videos on our channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.